Welcome back, everybody, to Hard Mod Systems. I'm George. It's taken me a little bit longer to get this last part of the video regarding the editing PC finished. This video, I'm just going to basically give you a quick look at what the final product was before I put the top on the case. We'll do Unigine Heaven, a quick benchmark to let you see what the specs are, how it's running. We'll use Hardware Monitor to show you what the heat's like and the temperatures with it. It's not going to be completely accurate because the computer is still sitting on the work table beside me, and it'll be a little bit different when it's inside the rack, but it shouldn't be substantially different, and if it is, it's something we can address further down the road. With that being said, we'll move on to giving you a quick little peek on the inside, and then we'll button the case up and show you a little bit of the benchmarking with Unigine Heaven and a little bit of the hardware monitoring with CPU ID hardware monitor, Cupid, not sure, but anyway, a hardware monitor at the same time so that you can see what the temperatures are and what the load on the processor is. With that being said, let's roll over to the PC itself. So as you can see, cable management is reasonable. It's not perfect, but it's going to do what I need it to do, which is allow air to flow from the front to the back without any obstructions. Most important part of the build when it comes to the cable management. It's nice if it looks good, but this doesn't have any open panels on it, and it'll be sealed up in a rack. So all you'll ever see of it after this is the front. Hopefully, unless something goes wrong and we have to repair it. The Intel Arc 770, it's doing very good. It works very well. I'm very happy with it so far. I have not gamed on it, and I haven't done any editing with it yet, but we'll show you that in the future videos. And then you'll also see the Elgato 4K 60 Pro game capture card. That's all I really needed, was a simple capture device. I wanted it right on the PCI, on the motherboard itself, and I didn't want to have anything protruding in USB ports on the front where I had to keep fighting with it. This I can leave with an HDMI cable out of the box that will reach whatever systems that we're working on in the future that we want to be able to do screen captures of. Really, that's about all that's changed since the last time we looked at it. So I'm just going to roll ahead with getting the top put on it, and then we'll run some benchmarks and let you guys see what it's doing and how it's performing with Unigine. Okay, we've got the case buttoned up, and Unigine is installed and hardware monitor is installed. So we'll get hardware monitor up and running here. There we go. Now we don't need to see absolutely everything, but what we're really watching for are the temperatures. So things we'll focus on are CPU temperature. I'm not too worried about power draw. Utilization. Be nice to keep an eye on, see how many cores are running and what they're running at. I'm not too worried about the M.2s, but we'll definitely keep the GPU temperatures up where we can see them. Alright, let's run the Heaven benchmark. I'm sure many of you that are watching this have seen this benchmark before. For those of you that haven't, it's a really nice benchmark for stress testing equipment and getting a general idea if you're hitting the ballpark. Alrighty, benchmarks up and hardware monitors up. What we'll do is we'll let it run for a few minutes, and once we've saturated everything, got everything to an idling temperature, then we'll run the benchmark to see what we're getting. It's always good to get it to its running temperature before you start the benchmark. Then you get a more accurate result when you run the benchmark, because you don't want to just start from cold. You want to see what it's going to do when it's already warm. So we'll give it a few minutes to get the temperatures up. Okay, we've been running for a little bit. It looks like everything's stabilized. As you can see, the GPU 75 degrees, the processor sitting at 48 to 49 degrees, the system temperature around 31 degrees. So, and we're running at pretty much the 4.2 right across the board on all the cores, so that's good to see. And alrighty, let's start the benchmark and see what we get. So we'll fast forward this really quick and get to the results. Okay, our benchmark's finished running. Now, biggest thing I want to point out is, yes, I know it is not the greatest score that this machine could achieve, but it's a good enough score for what this machine is expected to do. Biggest things to take note of are the temperatures for me on this system. As you can see, the never really broke 50 degrees Celsius on the processor. It ran at a solid 4.199 megahertz, pretty much dead on the 4.2 gigahertz that this processor runs at. The GPU didn't break 82 degrees the whole time that it was running. So I'm really happy with the results of this test. Even though I know the score isn't as high as it could be, I could easily get a little more out of this system. It's not that important for this machine. I want stability and I want reasonable temperatures so that I can use this thing reliably for a long time. That being done, we will switch back to a more broad view of the workshop. And it's time for me to once more untangle the spaghetti monster of cables that has accumulated over the last week or so building this computer, and get it in its new permanent home, permanent for now, and ready to use for the next build. Well, there we have it, folks. The first system build on the channel is done. My editing rig / recording PC is all wired in and ready to go. I have the switch installed, but I haven't started running through it yet because I have so much other stuff already run through the workshop here that I need to do some organizing and rerunning of cables. And I don't think that's going to be very interesting to watch, so I will spare you that. Plus, in the interest of keeping my time down on my videos, I thought it best to, we'll do that behind the scenes kind of work. The next project, I'm a little bit torn on. I managed to pick up a really cool case that's from about 2004, and I really want to make a build in it. And I want to do kind of like a resto mod, and I'm super excited to get started on that. But I also realize I have to get my file server finished. It's primarily built, it just really needs the hard drives installed and to have the OS properly set up on it. I'm still bouncing around between a simple Windows shared drive versus going with TrueNAS or something else like that. If you're watching this and you want to leave a comment about whether you'd like to see me finishing the setup part, getting the file server up and running, or if you'd like to see me move on to a resto mod, there's a custom water loop system that I want to build. It's dry fitted, but I'm still waiting for parts for that. Around Christmas time, EK's black tubing sold out everywhere, and everybody's waiting for a restock on that. So I'm waiting for that to come through. I have an order at both Newegg and Amazon for the same type of tubing, in the hopes that one would get here before the other. So that one's a little bit delayed, and I won't be able to do too much with it until that gets here. But so far, this was fun to do. I can understand now why people say it takes 3 times longer to do something when you're recording it to video. But at the same time, it's been a fun experience getting to talk about what it is I'm doing and some of my thoughts on different things like that. So thank you very much for watching Hard Mods Systems. My name is George, and I look forward to producing even more videos and sharing them with you guys. So please subscribe, give us a like if you like it, give us a dislike if you don't like it. And I really encourage you to leave comments, good or bad. The bad comments can be very constructive and help me to get better at delivering the content that you would like to see. Thanks again, and we'll catch you in the next video.